Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to another full day of eating, day in the life, all that kind of stuff. Today's gonna be a raw vegan challenge for me. I've said before, many times before in my previous videos, that when it's hot, when it's summer, I do just generally gravitate towards a more high raw diet just because I'm eating a lot more fresh fruits, locally grown vegetables, like big fresh salads, etc. But I've never taken the leap, you know, I've never done the fully raw thing, like ever. Mainly because even on days when I eat a lot of just high raw produce, it's usually covered in my liquid gold tahini, which obviously is not raw. So for me, that was gonna be the biggest challenge to actually film this video. So yeah, and yeah, by no means do I have any plans to stay raw vegan like in my life, ever. Because I think even though it can be healthy, I just think it's unnecessary. And just not realistic for a lot of people, but because I have so much good fresh produce right now and I'm really enjoying eating big salads, lots of fresh fruit, we're doing it. Yes, we are. I'm still trying to convince myself that I can do this. I can do this. And yeah, another thing I wanted to do, because again, this is an experiment for me, and I don't often analyze my food or put it through Chronometer. I thought it would just be interesting, I guess, for you guys to put it all through the... Put it all through the what? What am I gonna put it through? But yeah, I just thought it would be interesting, not just for you guys, but for me too, to just kind of do a full nutrient breakdown and analysis at the end of this to see how much goodness I was able to get from a day of eating fully raw, which is, again, not something that I usually do, but wanted to try. I am very lucky to live in a place where we do have a lot of fresh, locally grown produce. I do know that, I'm very blessed. And to be able to buy it and consume it as well. Anyways, I have a lot of fresh produce I'm gonna mess around with today. So let's do a little grocery haul. I have been wanting to film this video before we get into the grocery haul for like a long time. And like I think I said in the intro, the one thing that always stops me is shit, like I just don't enjoy raw tahini. And on top of that, just the thought of not being able to eat like salted, roasted peanut butter every day, can't deal. I can't lean on this. I feel like I'm gonna squash the straws if I lean on them. Yeah, last night when I was considering this, I needed a kick up the arse, to be honest. So I messaged Christina to hold myself accountable, and I was like, tomorrow I'm going fully raw. Give your boy a kick up the arse, and she came through.
Miles, I encourage you so much. I think you are amazing and wonderful, and you've totally got this. You are totally doing it already. Crack open one of those delicious watermelons, enjoy a smoothie, drink some fruit juice, make a rainbow salad, you know, top it with a ton of tahini, and you're so good. I can't wait to see what you create and what you eat. If you need me at all, I'm here. Much love. Yes, we definitely need a big catch-up stack.
So there you go, Fully Raw herself is holding me accountable for this video. So yeah, this is some of the fresh produce I picked up today. Most of it is locally grown. Obviously, it's gonna last me more than one day. Although, to be honest, I think I can put a good dent in this today. In fact, I know I can. Staples, as always, watermelons, watermelon. The best trick for picking a good one, like I've always said, make sure it feels heavy, make sure it sounds hollow. So when you flick it, you hear that? Hollow. If it sounds just like flat, you don't want it. You want it to be hollow. That one's gonna be sweet. I have got some of these huge, I don't know if you can tell, but they are ginormous. These are locally grown, fresh strawberries. These were literally grown down my road. And they're so sweet and juicy. A typical breakfast for me recently has been diced up watermelon, fresh locally grown strawberries, lime juice. Oh, love it. I've got a couple heads of broccoli. Yes, they come in plastic, unfortunately. Got some of my favorite fruits in the world. Well, second favorite fruits after watermelon. These are little Sharon fruits. They're so sweet. You always want to make sure that they're dark orange. The yellow ones aren't that sweet, and they are kind of crisp. You don't have to wait till they get fully squishy. Yeah, love them. When I get going with these, I can literally eat like 20 in one go. Also got some little fresh apricots. Not usually a stone fruit person, I've said that before, but these little babies are sweet. Obviously got some good, creamy Hass avocados. Avocados. I mean, what would I do without avocados? I can't remember the last day in my life when I didn't eat at least one whole avocado. I'll probably eat 2 of these today. A couple of large cucumbers, always essential. I'm on a big cucumber kick at the moment. Got some of these sprouts. So this is pretty interesting because I think One of the things on a raw vegan diet, people think that they can't eat things like beans and legumes. Well, you can if you sprout them. And whilst I don't sprout them myself, you can find these in stores. So these are like sprouted beans, chickpeas, there's some micro mix. And these are actually very high in protein, so you can just sprinkle them on salads. And yeah, whatever you're eating, just to bump up the nutrition, the crunch, the flavor profile. Love it. I have got lots of carrots. These are obviously organic. Like I've said before, carrots are one of the few things that I refuse to buy non-organic just because the flavor of an organic carrot just cannot be compared. Onion, of course, what would I do without onion? Some beautiful, colorful cherry tomatoes. These are also locally grown. They're super sweet. I've also got some coconut, again in plastic, I know. But, like I've said before, I don't like the gooey flesh of the coconut. I only like the hard chunks, so that's what I eat. Got some locally grown pink radish, such an underrated vegetable. These are some raw flax crackers, which I found. Now, these are definitely a luxury item. If you are trying to eat a healthy vegan diet or a raw vegan diet, any kind of diet, these kind of things are obviously not an essential. They are a luxury and they are pretty expensive as well. But I don't have a dehydrator myself and I absolutely love these flax crackers. I can't remember, let's look at the ingredients because I remember I used to waft these down back in the day. Kimchi. Now, I don't know if I've told you this before, but kimchi has become a big part of my life. Ever since I started watching Mummy Tang, I just cannot get enough kimchi. Is kimchi always raw? I actually don't know. This one is the fresh one from Waitrose. You get it in the fridge section and it's just like, it's the perfect amount of spice. Hits the spot every time. Also picked up some of these fresh pickles with garlic and dill. These are kind of my new obsession. I didn't actually realize until a couple weeks ago that pickles were cucumbers. Didn't make the connection. Got some raw chocolate. Again, this is totally a luxury item, but I can't go a day without dark chocolate. I just can't. So I found some raw chocolate, which I'm gonna dig into later. Some beautiful locally grown cherries. I haven't actually been cherry picking myself yet, but I will. So yeah, I know the main thing you're probably all thinking is how is Miles going to get through today without liquid gold? But I have some good news, guys, and this, when I tell you this, it's the truth, right? It's God's honest truth. So basically, you all know I have my own tahini brand called Liquid Gold. It's the best Lebanese, like proper Middle Eastern tahini ever. I don't make all of the decisions behind the scenes. I don't deal with the business side of things. I'm just the tahini king. But it was brought to my attention yesterday when I received this jar in the post that Liquid Gold actually, we make raw tahini now. Didn't know this till yesterday, and as you can see, it does say raw, liquid gold, new. And obviously this came straight from the factory, hasn't been tampered with at all, so I am able to consume this today, so I'll be alright. And I also do have a raw nut butter review coming up later, but first, let's crack open a watermelon because it's time for breakfast. Which one? I mean, that one sounds good, but oh, that one sounds better. And as you can see, it has the yellow patch as well, which often means it's a very sweet, juicy one. Listen to this, guys. Beautiful. Look at that bright red flesh. I already know it's a 10 out of 10. Guys, I've been having a lot of 10 out of 10s recently as well. There is just literally no other better way to start the day than with watermelon. So yeah, I'm gonna start with half of this. Also gonna have some of these locally grown straws, which I should probably try one to tell you how sweet they are. They're very sweet. I know this sounds kind of weird, but go with me, just go with me. And don't worry, I'm not gonna go all like hippie on you and stuff, but I just feel like watermelon is definitely like the most high vibrational food. Do you know what I mean? Well, can we focus please? So, in other news, I'm going to make a kind of a high protein, yeah. In other news, guys, very exciting news, Vivo Life have just launched their new strawberry and vanilla protein powder. This is the new version of Perform. You guys know that my favorite one in the past has always been the salted caramel one. And if I'm being honest, it still is. But this one is a close second. It tastes like strawberries and cream. Like literally like strawberries and cream. So yeah, I like to blend it with a lot of hemp seeds just for extra creaminess, omega-3s, proteins. Hemp seeds are a great source of zinc, calcium, iron. I mean, I've said this so many times before, I feel like a broken record, but hemp seeds literally, in my opinion, are one of the healthiest foods in the whole world. And whatever kind of diet you're following, I think that everyone should try and send some down the chute on a daily basis, if you know what I'm saying. The Perform range is raw vegan, so I guess it's suitable for everyone. Full of so much goodness, so much flavor. And yeah, usually I would just have protein powder, hemp seeds, plant milk blend. So I'm kind of gonna have breakfast part 2, lots of different fruits. And then I think I'm gonna make like a high protein nut milk. So yeah, if you're someone that loves strawberries and cream, would definitely recommend this new flavor. Also gonna put some of this delicious runny raw, see, fully raw liquid gold. Just a little drizzle, just a little drizzle is needed in my opinion. Tahini with rasps, guys, gotta try it. It's the fucking best. Alright, so for the smoothie, 1 scoop of strawberry and vanilla Vivo Life Perform, a few tablespoons of hemp seeds, all of that creamy goodness. I'm gonna put about 4 tablespoons in. Plant milk of choice, I'm using cashew milk today. If you guys only knew the flavor of this. I've decided it tastes like strawberry Nesquik, but like in the best way possible. Okay, I actually had to get changed because it's so hot in here because I had to close all of the windows because yeah, it's kind of like hurricaning outside, but it's still hot. So I have decided I'm not going to pour my protein shake over this because I don't know, I just feel like with the raw tahini and all of the flavors in there already, like I just want to eat this and enjoy it on its own, and then protein shake on the side. Not even kidding, guys. This actually does taste like strawberry Nesquik. But like, don't be put off if you didn't like strawberry Nesquik, because it's like, I don't know, it's like a good version of strawberry Nesquik, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, obviously I'm going to calculate this all at the end of the day, and I know it looks like so far I've only kind of just eaten fruit, but at the same time I've added a lot of hemp seeds, tahini, coconut, and a bang of protein from the raw vegan protein powder. So, and don't forget that fruits and vegetables have a lot of protein in them anyway, so if you kind of add it up, it kind of, you know what I mean? And obviously if you've watched a lot of my what I ate in a days, I don't eat like this all year round at all. Like obviously today is for the sake of being fully raw, but even though I have been eating a lot of raw meals recently in the winter, my diet, my vegan lifestyle would look completely different because I'd be eating a lot more cooked veggies, sweet potatoes, coconut curries, you know, things that are very like hearty and warming. And for breakfast, things like avocado toast or, yeah, just things. But like I've always said, when it's hot, it just feels natural to me to eat a lot good quality fresh fruits. And like I said, most of them are locally grown, so I'm taking full advantage. You best believe. Anyways, I'm gonna go munch, and I'm gonna say I'll see you at lunch. That rhymed, but I'll see you at lunch. Cheers. Best strawberries ever. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm just like, I'm incapable of eating a meal without getting stuff. And when I say stuff, I mean liquid gold, like all over the table. And probably my face as well. Is that strawberry? Is it raspberry? We will never know. Alright guys, so recently I have been like on a massive broccoli kick. I usually put it in my air fryer till it gets crispy with like coconut aminos, a little bit of olive oil, or I roast it in the oven, or I just steam it. And I know a lot of people find raw broccoli really hard to digest. To be honest, me being one of them, but if you do want to eat broccoli and you want to eat it raw, all you need to do is marinate it in some salt, lots of fresh lemon juice, let it sit for about 20 to 30 minutes, and the lemon juice kind of, you can use lime juice as well, any kind of citrus, kind of breaks down, the lemon juice kind of almost cooks it slightly. It makes it a lot more tender and easy to digest, easier to chew as well. So yeah, I wanted to put raw broccoli in my salad, so I'm letting that sit in the lemon juice while I make the rest of the stuff. Actually going to add a little drizzle of coconut aminos as well for extra flavor. Don't actually know if coconut aminos is raw. Well, it is now. Another thing I was just randomly thinking is that eating raw, like yeah, there's a kind of a bit of a lot of chopping involved sometimes, depending on what you choose to eat. But, I don't know, it's such a relief to not have to cook anything today and then like clean up pots and pans and all that kind of shit. I'm not saying I'm gonna stay raw, but if I'm being honest, I've really enjoyed not cooking today. Like, really enjoyed it. Just the word raw doesn't inherently make it healthy or unhealthy. It's all about the choices you make, just with any diet, just like with the cooked, like just like with my regular vegan diet. I'm not just healthy because I'm vegan, I'm healthy because I eat a wide variety of color and whole plant foods. So, I mean, I know that's pretty obvious, but I feel like raw or even high raw diets just get a bad rap. And even though I'm not a promoter of them, like I don't follow it myself or anything, I definitely do think if you plan it well and you eat a wide variety of good whole plant foods, then it's totally doable. Why don't I promote it? Because I personally think it's just unnecessary and totally not realistic for most people. But like I said, in the summer, I just enjoy fresh, raw produce so much. Guys, the size of this bowl, I don't think you quite understand how much I've actually got in here. But look at all of that color, look at all of that goodness. Just needs a good drizzle. I was gonna make a dressing, but do you know what? Like, do you know what actually? There is a lot of flavor in here already from the broccoli, which was marinated with coconut aminos and lemon juice, and then the kimchi as well, so much flavor. But I'm gonna smother it. I'm gonna smother it in my raw, fully raw liquid gold tahini. But first, I actually picked up this morning. You probably can't see it. Don't ask me why I bought this, because I know it's such a waste of money and it's plastic. But I don't know, I saw it and I was like, I want a turmeric shot. I haven't had a turmeric shot in like, I don't think I've ever had a turmeric shot. So, bottoms up. It's actually not that bad. That was a complete waste of money, but it was kind of worth it. I feel like very virtuous and vibrational. I feel like I could take off. By the way, again, feel the need to tell you, this is a huge bowl. It's not just a small bowl of salad. I've got so much in here, it's crazy. So, at the bottom, I have got, I think I used 2.5 heads of romaine, because I actually haven't had any greens today, which is pretty weird for me to get to the end of the day and not have greens. I usually have them for lunch too. I've got some crunchy sugar snap peas, which I absolutely love to snack on. They're so sweet, crunchy, full of goodness. sun-dried tomatoes. Actually, these may be sun-blushed tomatoes. The raw broccoli, which has tenderized, is that a word? Tenderized. I've got a whole large creamy Hass avocado. I know you can't really see it because most of it is under this mix, which is, these are the sprouted lentils and chickpeas. I put about a cup on there, and I've also got some of these microgreens, some fresh cherry tomatoes, cucumber, lots of kimchi. And as I go through this as well, don't forget I've tried to make this look fairly presentable for Instagram, but of course as I go through the layers, I'm just going to add more tahini and probably more kimchi, more lemon juice, more salt, and I'll take all of that into consideration when I put this into chronometer. Oh yeah, and I've also got a bunch of raw carrot as well. Love myself a rainbow mineral rich dinner, but this does need a drizzle, good drizzle of liquid gold. I also added a little bit of purple pickled cabbage to the mix, just for a bit of extra colour. And then also pretended I was using chopsticks for Instagram, which I don't know why I still do this. And actually the other day I posted a photo and my girlfriend called me out straight away. She was like, Miles, why are you pretending that you use chopsticks when you eat salad? Because you don't. And the honest answer is, I don't know. I don't know, I'm just a fraud. Cheers. Just so much flavour. Got some of those sprouted seeds stuck in my teeth. If you've seen any of my other What I Eat in a Days, you know that this is actually a really typical meal for me, whether it's for dinner or for lunch. Usually I'd add something like fried or baked tofu, roasted chickpeas, maybe some sweet potato. But yeah, I don't know, all I can say is I enjoy eating an abundance of fresh, good produce. Not with chopsticks, but I'm actually not that bad. Like, I'm getting better. Kind of. So yeah, I'll show you what I snack on later and stuff, and I'll see you at the nutrient breakdown. Alright, so today we are reviewing this raw pecan nut butter from, sorry, pecan, as you guys say in the States. So this is the raw pecan nut butter from the brand Carly's. I had a feeling I tried this like ages back when I first started this whole thing with nut butters. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I realized I tried regular pecan nut butter, but not the raw kind. And if I'm being very honest, guys, do you know what? Like, do you actually know what? Yeah. Pecan nuts are probably my favorite nut. Pecan nuts and macadamia nuts all day long. The reason I never buy pecan nut butter though is just because it's so fucking expensive, and you know what I'm like with nut butters, the whole thing usually goes down in one go, and I'm not even exaggerating, especially a small jar this size would not last me more than 2 days, like maximum. So sludgy, it's not even churnable, very thick. As you can see, I don't know what that texture reminds me of. I don't have any celery, which is kind of criminal. So I'm gonna go in with some carrot, but I feel like this is a sweet one and it's really gonna go with carrot. Cheers. Guys. Yeah, okay, we can all see the texture is just like a pile. Considering this is raw as well, I will say, like, I've slammed Carly's in the past because, again, even though they're raw, they kind of just taste rancid, because maybe they've just been on the shelves for like 5 years. But this tastes fresh. It just tastes like a really nice, clean, sweet pecan nut flavor. Like, would definitely buy this again. I feel like this would go with so many things. So after dinner for snacks o'clock, I had a little bowl of walnuts, probably about 50 grams. And I also had a couple squares of that raw dark chocolate, which was bomb. So yeah, looking at the nutrient breakdown, this day was not bad at all. I mean, well, by the way, also the app that I use, or the website that I use to ever track food, I mean, which I don't normally do, but if I do for an experiment like this, I use Chronometer. Some of my details, like my stats, I think I've put in there wrong, because it always seems to underestimate my overall calories that I need, so I think I need to sort that out. So just ignore the percentages and look at like the total amount of things, if you know what I mean. So 3,200 calories in total. For me, that's actually pretty low. I mean, again, I don't track. I would say some days, especially if I'm not that active, I would eat that amount. Usually though, I'd probably eat a bit more. 116 grams of protein, 234 grams of net carbs, and 187 grams of fat, which, yes, I know is very high, but that's just what works for me, whether I'm eating raw, whether I'm eating cooked. I just always eat a lot of fat, always have. It's what works for me personally. But as you can see with the vitamins, Everything pretty much covered, massively due to the large amounts of fresh fruits and vegetables I consumed. Vitamin E, I didn't even make it to 100%, it was 99%. I could have easily bumped that up just with a few like sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds, which are obviously very high in vitamin E. And the B12 and D, obviously I take a supplement. All of the minerals, the minerale, everything easily covered, even the things which sometimes can be lacking on a vegan diet if it's not planned well, such as calcium and zinc. Calcium I get a lot from the greens and the tahini, and the zinc specifically bumped up massively by the hemp seeds and also the greens and other veggies that I ate. So yeah, protein 116 grams, and as you can see, all of the amino acids covered very easily. I will say though, that was largely thanks to, well, largely bumped up by the Vivo Life raw vegan protein powder that I use, which I usually consume on most days, probably like 4 to 5 times a week, whether I'm eating raw or not. And then onto the fat, which yes, 187 grams is a lot, and you definitely don't need to eat that much on any kind of diet. It's just what works for me. As you can see, the omega-3 to 6 balance is not that bad. Saturated fat, yes, very high. And that was thanks to the coconut which I ate on this day, which I don't regularly eat coconut. Sometimes I have coconut yogurt, but coconut is definitely not a daily food for me, whereas the tahini, walnuts, avocado, hemp seeds most certainly are. And that's where all of the healthy fat is coming from. And yeah, to be honest, I didn't find this day hard at all. Like I said, I always eat a shit ton of fresh fruits and vegetables anyway. The fully raw tahini most certainly helped, because I don't know if I would have got through the day without that. But once again, I just want to emphasize, raw doesn't inherently mean healthy or unhealthy, nor does cooked or any other kind of diet. It's all about the food choices you make within that. And also, there are many ways to eat on a raw vegan diet, just like there are many ways to eat on a non-raw vegan diet. I know even a child could probably tell you this, but just wanted to say. Anyways guys, as always, I'm sending you all so much love, and I'll see you on the next video. Laters.